Hi, it's Mayor David Stahl. Welcome to another edition of Totally East Brunswick. You know, going green, as Freeholder Polis likes to say, go green, save green. We have a big movement for a long time in this country, particularly in the state of New Jersey, to make sure we sustain our New Jersey resources for generations to come. I'm pleased to be joined today by Pam Mount, who is the chairperson of the Mayor's Committee for Sustainable New Jersey, as well as a longtime Lawrence Township Council person.
Right.
Steven Albert, who is our chairperson for the East Brunswick Environmental Commission, and Steve Gottlieb, who works in our Department of Planning as our landscape architect. I appreciate everyone's taking the time to talk to myself and more particularly our residents. Pam, let's talk about Sustainable Jersey.
It's my pleasure to be here, and congratulations on your efforts to be more sustainable here in East Brunswick. We think it's great. I've been involved with Sustainable Jersey from the very beginning. It's a program that started about 4 or 5 years ago with a few of us doing things in towns and then trying to coordinate how can we make this work. The mayor of Highland Park and I went to a big convention in Colorado funded by the Dodge Foundation, and it turned out we were mayors of these dinky little towns, and everybody else was like from Chicago and Seattle and Portland and Boston.
I was born in Seattle, be careful.
Oh, well, no wonder. They're doing all kinds of great things. We learned a lot. We came back to New Jersey and talked to Bill Dressel of the League of Municipalities, because we realized that in we have so many towns in this state that each of us trying to get traction. We needed to coordinate it somehow or other so we could all learn from each other. So Bill and the League of Municipalities board were very encouraging. So they formed this Mayor's Committee for a Green Future, of which I'm now the chair. And Fred Perfetta from Maplewood was the chair for 3 years. And so we, over time, brought in the partners from the College of New Jersey, the Municipal Land Use Center, to work on the kind of the research and the administration of the program. But the Mayor's Committee really had a lot to say about how would this roll out in towns. And basically, the way what we came to was we developed action items, action steps that towns could do. They could choose which ones would work for their towns, but there were certain things that were required. The first was that the town council and the governing bodies had to have a resolution saying that they, as the governing bodies and the town, were supportive of this effort to become a sustainable community, and that they would work towards it and enable it to succeed. And then they had to form a green team, which is, in many towns, all different kind of ways of doing the green team. Sometimes it's the Environmental Commission, that's the whole green team. Sometimes it's different committees in the town government that come together. Many towns have a lot of residents and large green teams, 40 or 50 people on their green team. But however it got put together, it was a combination of residents who were interested and had time and expertise to bring to the table, and the people in the government. And we tried not to be too heavy-handed with how much government employees had to do, because, of course, we're all under great stricture about how much time and effort the town employees have a lot of stuff to do. So it's really pretty much a grassroots effort. Then we found that it was really important to come up with, well, how do you do it? And so we formed task forces, and now we have 22 task forces that oversee many of these actions. For instance, there's an energy task force that developed what the action items should be that towns could do. And what we wanted to do is start with a good foundation. So there are lots of actions that you should do before you do the next one, and then the next one. So for instance, under energy, we suggest that you do an energy audit of your town buildings, and perhaps a carbon footprint of your municipal energy uses. And then after that, maybe you would think about taking action to rectify some of those ideas, maybe putting solar panels on your schools or doing a geothermal for your town hall or something like that. And we have these 3 categories: prosperity, people, and planet. And that's what makes Sustainable Jersey a little different from just the normal environmental ideas, because it's a lot about the environment, but it's not only about the environment. So there's a lot about economy, local businesses, trying to generate good revenues in the town, prosperity for people, and then also sort of equity issues. People should all have good jobs and good housing and be treated equally. And so that's all what sustainability is, sort of those three categories kind of merging together, which makes it a very strong basis for action for many towns, because many people are interested in some of the different kinds of things. Yeah.
Well, Steve, let me ask you, you actually spearheaded the township's efforts toward becoming a sustainable Jersey town. Mention when we did achieve that status and what we've got going on right now.
We achieved status, and we were granted status in November of 2009, when we were told that we had received certification, and we received our Sustainable Jersey certification placard.
Congratulations.
We had to do a whole series of things, as Pam had mentioned, including the resolution of support, creation of a green team. The Environmental Commission helped out. Just having the Environmental Commission helped us out. We also had some community outreach programs. We used the Environmental Commission's participation in Community Day and Our Community is Fair. We also had a recycling day that the recycling people, that Joe Patrica in a recycling facility had a paper shredding day that he ran, that we were able to get credits, and all that led up to us being certified.
Stephen, I know as president of the Environmental Commission, also a member of the Green Team, as Steve is. Should have wore your green T-shirts today. The Environmental Commission, as Steve pointed out, has done a lot of projects and continues to do a lot of projects in town that helped us earn becoming part of the Sustainable Jersey. Mention whether it's the Salamander Crossing, Community Gardens, which is just doing fabulously. What are some of the projects that you think?
Well, you mentioned two of the major ones, David. The Salamander Crossing project is something that started many years ago, actually. We have several vernal pools off one of our roads in the town, and in the spring, I guess hundreds, if not more, spotted salamanders need to get from that vernal pond, which will evaporate eventually as the weather gets warm, and move over into the lake. They have to cross a road, and they do it at night, and it's a quiet road, but nonetheless, many get lost, and so we have, with cooperation of the police and the township, we shut the road, and we go out there and make sure that the salamanders cross safely. We have signs posted, just as you see deer crossing signs around the country. We have salamander crossing signs on the road. And this has been going on for a number of years. It happens in March. And very, very popular. We have everybody come out with flashlights and kind of shepherd the salamanders across the road. More recently, we established a butterfly park, which is actually now being maintained by the Parks Department. But through the efforts of a number of people on the commission, we set aside, the township allowed us to set aside an area to basically encourage butterflies and birds and through planting of flowers. And just a nice place to sit and watch nature go by. But also,
the township does do most of the maintenance there, but the youth council gets a lot involved in terms of maintaining that park. They'll come out in the spring and the fall and take care of the park, as well as, create, I know one year they had some beautiful, they painted the benches, they painted some of the stones. I mean, that is actually a park where, again, you talked about the collaboration between the government and private citizens. And that's an excellent example.
Yes, we have any number of young men trying to get their Eagle Scout badges, doing projects all around town, and with the butterfly park, and also with the community garden, which, as you said, is going like gangbusters, and the plots are multiplying, and lots of good stuff is coming out of there.
Pam, there's obviously different levels of certification
Right.
with respect to a sustainable jersey.
Right.
What are those 3 levels?
Well, I think I understand that you were awarded a level of when you reached 100 points. The first year we were giving out certifications. Then the next year we got a little bit more organized, and we called the bronze level, which now is the beginning level, but it's at 150 points. That's what happened at my towns in Lawrence. We got the certification at 100 points. Then the next year we added 50 points, so we got the bronze level the next year. And this year we hope to get the 350, the silver level. And there will be more levels as we move forward. There's now discussion about how many levels is going to be the level. How many places do we have to go? Because obviously sustainability is an endless, ongoing, ever extended commitment by towns and residents. But we want to make sure that we give people goals to reach, and then reachable goals, and then more goals. And I think that you've done a great job here, and it will be great fun if you could get your extra 50 to get up to bronze by November, because at the League Convention in Atlantic City in November on the 15th, we have a Sustainable Jersey Luncheon, and invite all the certified community. I mean, you can come anyway, but whether you get a bronze or not, you're certified, whatever, anybody can come. But we're going to have, it's a very special celebration of all the efforts that the towns and residents have put forth. And now we have over half of the towns in New Jersey, I think it's at 350 or something like that, towns have registered, made green teams, made resolutions, working on projects, and over 100 are now certified one way or another. And that's a huge accomplishment, really, in just 2 or 3 years. So it's really taken off in the imagination of many of us. But I think also, from my view as a council person, it gave some structure to what a lot of people in environmental commissions, open space committees, other groups were doing, but didn't know how to celebrate their successes. And so this gives people ways of earning points for having a green fair, or having a mayor's wellness campaign, and then they can get those points, and then the town can receive also some celebration about what they're accomplishing. Of course, in New Jersey, competition is always a good thing. It's always something we're working on here. And that's turned out to be quite competitive between towns, especially towns that are close together and stuff, and in counties. And counties are stepping up. And now we also have beefed up the area of school sustainability projects in schools. And mostly it's a collaboration between, of course, the town and the school. They should be working closely together anyway. But we were just invited, to tell a quick story, by the Taiwanese EPA. 5 of us from Sustainable Jersey went to Taiwan in June because they're very interested. They were here last year and saw what we were doing with Sustainable Jersey in terms of getting people engaged with in the local level with their government and residents, working together on sort of not too political stuff. And so we went to Taiwan. And then last week, their delegation came back again because they're very interested in working together on projects. But one of the things that we worked on, we put in place was a sister school relationship with an elementary school in my town, Ben Franklin School, and an elementary school in Taiwan, in New Taipei City. And they're Skyping back and forth, and the kids are doing things here and they're doing things. So what really came to my awareness was how global this whole sustainability efforts are. How no matter whether you're doing things because you want to save money, or whether because the citizens want it, or whether you're worried about climate change, or whatever the issues are, it all makes sense, and people all over the world are working on it. So we in New Jersey, I think, came up with a model that seems to be very attractive to a lot of people because it seems to actually work.
Well, actually, there's 2 things you discussed that brings to my mind. One, first, Steve Gottlieb, I know. Now I'm feeling the pressure here representing East Brunswick. Are we going to make the bronze come November?
I
Yes.
don't think that's going to be a problem.
Just give them
Yes.
some time to do the paperwork.
No, there are a lot of things that we already have under our arms that we weren't able to get credit for on the first go-around that have not been submitted that we can very easily submit, like the community garden. That whole program, that can be submitted, and that's just...
I think we should be getting bonus points because you mentioned, was it Taiwan?
Yes.
Well, Steve can tell you about our affiliation with, was it Australia?
Yes.
East Brunswick, Australia.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Yes.
our sister garden in
Yes.
Australia.
They have a desert garden, right?
No. This is in Melbourne.
In Melbourne,
it's
yeah.
wet.
Yeah.
Luckily. Oh, well, that's good. I mean, all these kinds of things are really very important. And I know the paperwork is sometimes onerous. You have to have little resolutions or ordinances and other kinds of things to follow. But we wanted to make this rigorous. It wasn't just one of those things where you print your name at the top and you sign at the bottom and you're green. This really requires some major effort on the part of towns and their citizens and ongoing effort, as you all have been working on it for several years. And that's really one of the things that we felt was really important.
Steve, maybe you want to mention to our residents, what are some of the things, again, besides what we've already discussed, some of the things that the township has done, or whether we've even changed some of our operating procedures?
Well, a lot of the things that we've done, I mean, in these times, you're always looking to save money, and a lot of these things and these programs that can earn points on Sustainable Jersey also save money. And you know, we have been looking for, you know, ways to provide solar for the town. They're also making it a little bit easier for the residents of the town to have solar on their homes. We've run solar forums for both the commercial and residential property owners in town in hopes that we will help encourage them to save energy. We also had, we promoted energy audits at one of the at a recent community day where somebody came in to assist us and signing up for free energy audits.
You can get points for all that stuff.
And yeah, we had points. We had points for that, and it was just a wonderful thing. We've done our energy audits for the municipal building, and since then we've also done energy audits for other buildings.
All right, but now I'm playing Jersey. I'm at the shore. The kids are playing all those games. You get all those tickets. With those tickets always come rewards. What rewards come with being certified?
Well, a couple of really great ones. We have a wonderful partnership with Walmart. In the last 3 years, they've given Sustainable Jersey about almost $500,000 to pass through 2 towns. So towns apply. I think you all applied. My town applied. We didn't get it, but we'll get it soon. Some money. So the Sustainable Jersey receives the applications and then has an independent group of evaluators and awards towns money. The other thing that really has happened is we're working very closely with all the state agencies like DEP, DOT, and many of the grants that they offer have point systems in order to qualify. And so if towns are certified, or even if they're registered, and more if they're certified, get more points on any kind of program that you want to get grants through from a lot of the state agencies. So that has accumulated over $1 million worth of potential grants by being part of Sustainable Jersey.
Steve, why don't you just mention what the Environmental Commission does, because you are so involved in the township.
Sure. The Environmental Commission is established by township ordinance. There are 7 regular members and 2 alternates appointed by the mayor. And we have 2, we can break, I guess, our activities down into 2 areas. First of all, we provide comment on environmental issues regarding development projects in town, either through staff, through Steve, to the planning board or to the zoning commission. And so that's one piece. And we have a number of environmental professionals in the group who are used to reviewing these things. Sometimes they're consultants and they write them. So that's one piece we do. The other piece is to promote environmental education and to promote the good use of the township's resources. And it is through that aspect that we have run these projects, like the Butterfly Park and the Community Garden and the Salamander Crossing. We also work closely with an organization, the Friends of the Environmental Commission, which comprise a number of the members of the commission as well as other interested townspeople, and they are the muscle and the the people who really get out and do things in terms of keeping the garden going, maintenance in the butterfly park and things like that. That group also runs events, has some lecture series and those sorts of things. So together I think we do a lot.
Absolutely, and
Right.
it's topics for someone like myself who's really not environmentally savvy, terrible gardener, but the breadth of the subjects that you guys always discuss, whether it's the different forums that Steve talked about earlier, it's really a wide range of resources that is available to our residents. So I thank you on behalf of them for providing that information. Pam, you mentioned that you do concrete goals, and it doesn't always have to technically relate to the environment. Like here in East Brunswick, we've been promoting a shop local business type
Absolutely.
forum.
Very
In fact, our businesses are working right now. We'll be holding what I'm convinced will be a very successful kind of a great 10 event to convince our residents to shop local. How does that fit into the Sustainable New Jersey?
You can definitely get points. There's a section where, for local business reward program, there's a section that will qualify you for points when you do your 10-point program. And we really think that sustainability is all about everything being in equality, that the environment, the economy, and equity issues in a town need to be organized so that we're not using up resources in any of those categories that deny people in the future a good life and a sustainable life. So yeah, all that is very important, and many towns are starting with new projects in those kinds of areas because they've had environmental commissions, they've done environmental inventories and other kinds of things, but they may not have really focused in on the economy and those kinds of issues with small businesses and supporting local businesses and local buying, local food production, things like that. So all that is really important to sustainability as well.
Steve, I know that as our landscape architect for the township, you've been involved in a lot of the parks that we do. Talk about even whether it's Pine Ridge Park or even how we redid the park right in front of the municipal building, in terms of your work on that, as well as the things that probably goes unnoticed by residents when you have new commercial buildings that are mostly impervious asphalt, but you make sure that we've got a lot of green surfaces around them?
Yeah, well, part of my job responsibilities away from the Environmental Commission really twofold, to also review all the plans and applications that come in for their compliance with all the landscape codes, buffer requirements, and then the other part of my job is to really to make sure that and help the Parks Department keep the parks in good shape and up to date. And one of the things that we've been doing, and we had done several years ago, was to redo the municipal courtyard because the courtyard had gotten somewhat outdated as far as the design goes. It was dark. There were drainage issues in there. So I took it and I redesigned it, and we have a nice open courtyard area now that's a wonderful seating area, and it brings all three of the buildings in the complex together. I've also worked on the butterfly park, on the design of the butterfly park, which we were fortunate enough to win an award from the New Jersey chapter of the American Society of Landscape Architects. We won an Environmental Enhancement Award. And, the other things that I have, had some input on numerous other parks, Lenape Park, the Historic District play area, and, whenever the engineers have a plant issue, they come to me and ask, okay, how do we get rid of the gravel, and what do I plant here so everything's not all over the place? And, that's what I do, and that's what I love doing.
And you've done a great job, because our park system, which is very diverse, is all well maintained, and each park has a different character to it, and I think that's a credit to your hard work on that.
Thank you.
Stephen, with the Environmental Commission, if I'm just watching and maybe for the first time hearing, wow, there's an Environmental Commission in town, how can a resident get involved?
Residents can get involved. They certainly can come to the meetings and sit in and participate. They are formal meetings, but there's a public participation part to it. Secondly, I would advise that they join the Friends of the Environmental Commission, which is there for the joining and for the participating if you're interested in the environment in East Brunswick.
What would be a contact number? Would it be Steve's number?
There is a link on the township page or on the Environmental Commission page. The president of it is Dave Moskowitz, who lives in town, and probably reachable mostly through Steve. And by all means, we encourage the participation.
We are looking for a couple of additional members, because we're down to 7 members right now. We could use a couple of more members for the Environmental Commission itself.
All right, so that's 390-6870. That's for Steve.
Yes.
All right, remember that number, folks. Pam, we only have about a minute left. You've been with Sustain New Jersey from the beginning, Sustainable Jersey. In a minute, how would you capture where you started and exactly where you are today?
Well, I think we've all been thrilled with how the Sustainable Jersey has been accepted in the towns and municipalities, all big towns, small towns, all over New Jersey. And it shows us that we're on the right track. We're just a new organization relatively, but we really feel that we're giving the towns and the leadership of towns the kind of resources that they need in order to do the right thing for their residents and their sustainable efforts, and give them the credit that they deserve for all the efforts that people like you all have been doing for so many years that now you can rack up those points. And in closing, I want to give you a Sustainable Jersey pin for your empty lapel there, and you can wear it in good faith that you are a registered community and sustainable.
I'll make sure it's on the council meetings, and I'll wear it with pride.
Thank you very much.
Thanks actually to the work of these 2 our gentlemen and yourself for getting this going. So I appreciate all 3 of you spending some time with myself and the residents to talk not only about Sustainable Jersey, but as well as the great things that the Environmental Commission is doing, and Steve, as you've done throughout the years, here's our landscape architect. So again, at home, as you heard us say, we're looking for 2 more on the Environmental Commission, and get involved in the township with respect to making sure that we're a sustainable part of New Jersey and save our resources for our children, and also save a few green bucks for us taxpayers. Thanks for watching.